Yep, there it is, my new BFF for the week. Maybe if I just maybe I'll turn my head like this, talk to you guys like this. What is up, guys? It's Haley. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be taking a little $10 coffee table that I got at the thrift store, and I'm going to flip it into a really cute bench. I'm going to be following an idea that I sort of saw on Pinterest, and so if that sounds interesting, go ahead and keep on watching. Here is a clip of what the little table looked like before I turned it into a bench. It had severe water damage on the top. There was no way that I could fix that. This doesn't really do it any justice. It was super bubbly, so I decided to cover it, hence this video. Then it also had these little flaps on the side to extend the table, but they were also not very sturdy, and I didn't trust anybody to put like drinks on it or anything. So I'm removing those just by turning it over and removing the hinges. In choosing a good candidate for this type of a project, you want to make sure that the piece is sturdy enough to support someone's weight if they are going to sit on it. Here is a clip of me cleaning it off. You want to make sure that you really clean any gunk or dirt off before painting, and if yours has a thick varnish, then make sure you sand it so that the paint will actually stick. Here is a little clip of how disgusting that was. I actually went over it a second time and even more dirt came off. Next, I'm taking my charcoal paint, and I know this is a good paint because I used it on my front door and it has held up really well. Here is what it looks like after I painted. I ended up doing 2 coats, and now I am sanding it to make it look distressed. When you're doing this, always start at any corners or edges first and sand those because that's the easiest. Then go to any spots where the paint might be drippy or have any runs and sand that off. And then from there you can sand flat spots wherever you want to distress it. But if you start with the raised areas, it'll look a little bit more natural, I guess, and it'll look a lot more cohesive. So if you are distressing your project, that means you don't have to paint it perfectly and you don't have to do too many coats because you're going to distress it anyways. Here are the supplies that you'll need for the actual upholstery part. I took a foam mattress pad in a twin size and this little $2 pillow. One was perfect. I ended up buying 2 but not using the second one. And first I am laying down the foam pad, and I did it to where it was folded in half so it was like a total of 1 inch thick, and then I laid down the batting or foam on filler on top. And next I am taking this and we're holding it as tight as we can and just stapling it on all 4 corners just to make sure that it's positioned perfectly before we flip it over, because we didn't want the fabric to be crooked. So that's what I would recommend doing, is positioning it first, stapling it on all 4 sides, and then from there it shouldn't slide around too much. Here I am just pulling it to make sure that it's where I want it to be because I didn't want it to be crooked. And then we're flipping it over, and I laid down the spare foam just because I didn't want it to get dog hair all over it. No matter how much I vacuum, there's always dog hair. But anyways, here we are making sure that we staple them about 1/2 inch to 1 inch apart from each other, just because we don't want this to pull out whenever someone sits on it. And we went all the way around, and once that was done, we went ahead and trimmed off all of the excess fabric and batting and foam that was sticking out. If you don't mind the unfinished look of this in its current state, then you can go ahead and leave it, and then your bench is done. But I didn't think that it looked very professional, and I am selling this bench, and so what I did is I took the excess fabric and just kind of folded it on either side and then sort of created my own trim. You can go ahead and buy trim, but I just used the extra fabric and then stapled that about every inch apart. And as you can see, there was this hole here where the little flaps were holding up. So I took this little sign from Walmart. It's supposed to be a drink sign, and I found it in the craft section. And I just painted it and E6000 glued it on so that the hole is covered. And this is the finished result. I think it turned out incredibly beautiful. It is definitely a lot more expensive looking than the $15 that I paid for it initially. Total, this costed me about $40 to make. So that is it for the video. I hope that I have inspired you to go to your local thrift store and turn a piece that is destined for the dump into a beautiful piece of furniture. And if not, I hope that I at least entertained you enough to stick to this part of the video. If you have stayed until this part of the video, then that means you must like me or you like my ideas. You should totally subscribe because I post videos like this every Wednesday, including some like cleaning videos and other lifestyle type of videos. So I will see you guys next Wednesday. Comment, like, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. Bye!